Kim. Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Executive Voices.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here, and also thank you for everything you do for Oracle. It is so important, the impact that you're having, and I really appreciate the opportunity just to sit down and chat with you today.
Well, I'm super excited to have you here and learn more about your journey and the impact you and your team are having, not just at Oracle, but in our country. So Kim, can you tell me about your role as Executive Vice President of Government Defense and Intelligence at Oracle?
Yes, it is such a great role. I really enjoy what I get to do here at Oracle because we support the mission of our customers that have the national security and defense responsibilities of our country. And Oracle has supported these customers for decades and is ingrained in some of the most important missions in the protection of the United States. So that is an exciting place to be. And we are bringing the latest technologies like our classified clouds to really amp up our impact across this sector.
So Kim, what initially drew you to defense and intelligence?
So for me, I have always wanted to serve, and I wanted to be able to be a part of the defense and security of our country. And so being able to support these customers is one of the ways I'm able to give back. And earlier in my career, when I supported the Department of Defense, I've had the opportunity to work on some really important programs that were industry government partnerships on the reconstitution of our critical infrastructures. And this really came into play a few years into my career after 9/11, when I was able to work on some projects that have helped to stand up Wall Street after the attacks and make sure that we were resilient. From there, I was able to expand into the intelligence community and defense community on some critical missions that were classified. And I was hooked. The impact, the ability to look at data in new ways. There was so much we could do to support our customers that it's been a core to who I am from then.
So Kim, can you share some key moments in your career that kind of shaped your leadership style?
Sure. So I have been very fortunate to have great examples of strong leaders who are also incredibly supportive. And I've always shared in the philosophy of being a servant leader who supports their teams, supports their customers. I always try and figure out what can I add value to my team and how do I support them. And the opportunity to create a very diverse leadership team where I am listening to all different perspectives, because I know I don't always have the right answer. I don't always have the right experience, depending on the situation. So building a really good team that supports me and I support them is really important to me. And having leaders who really are focused on doing the right thing at all times. That's why I was thrilled to come to Oracle and to get to work for our amazing CEO who always does the right thing for the customers, the company, the mission. And it's just really inspiring to learn from that and to be able to try and replicate it across my team as well.
Indeed it is. I mean, Safra is definitely an inclusive leader, and what you've described, your style is inclusive leadership as well. Do you have any success stories that stand out for you that are a good demonstration of inclusive leadership?
Yeah, that's a great question. I have a couple, and what I'll start with was actually a customer engagement that I got to work on, where they were looking at how to improve their analysis. And they realized they were falling victim to groupthink because everybody that they had working on these projects had the same background, same life experience, and they were getting the same outcomes. And so they asked me to lead a program where I brought in diverse perspectives, made sure I had people from all different types of backgrounds, whether it was from societal differences, work experience differences, just any type of different kind of backgrounds than the group that was doing the main analysis. And we found that we improved the accuracy of the outcomes in the analysis tenfold by bringing in diverse backgrounds. And then for me, in my personal experience, when I first started in national security and defense, I was often the only female in the room. And I did find that was an intimidating environment when I was very junior to bring up a contrarian perspective, but it was very important to do so. And I've been very encouraged over the last 10 years to see how diverse not only our customers have become, but we have become in the national security space. And that has also improved the outcomes because we have such different perspectives that we bring to the table.
So what has it been like being a woman in such a male-dominated sector or field, and how do you continue to help women share their voices?
Yeah, that's important to me. When I first started, I looked up and I wanted to see how I could kind of aspire to be in a leadership role. And at the time, I didn't see a lot of leaders that had what I wanted, which was a very important role, very strong leadership role, having impact, having a family, and having the ability to kind of move around and do different things. And so fortunately, I was through my career able to find some role models and mentors that had all of that and were able to balance it all. And now I remember how important that was to me, believing that I could do it, and to aspiring and taking on those additional responsibilities, even as I was managing 2 toddlers at the time, many years ago. So seeing others do it and having seen them take that path helped me. And so now I'm always very cognizant of making sure I'm encouraging people that, yes, it won't be easy, but believe in yourself and don't give up, because you can do it. You can manage. Not always perfectly, but well.
Yeah. I mean, that's inspiring, because it's a lot to balance home and family and career. And it's inspiring to hear that you really can have it all, and to be that example to the next generation of women and all people who are coming up in the defense and intelligence sector.
And it's all working parents, right? It's male, female, we all have these challenges with just the pace of our jobs and our families.
So Kim, how do you see the role of technology evolving in the government sector?
It has changed significantly over the last decade. So for us, the United States always had the preeminent technology for decades. But because of the rapid pace of technology innovation, we are not always at the forefront. Our adversaries are able to go into their industries and take technology, take the latest AI, the latest developments very quickly. And so it's very different in terms of the competition. So our competitive advantage is at risk sometimes. Fortunately, we still are the most innovative country. We are still the most preeminent. And being at somewhere like Oracle, we can help with that to keep pace and make sure we outpace our adversaries in terms of innovation. The challenge is the modernization. So we have to keep working with our customers to say, here's what the commercial sector is doing, and here's the path to your adoption. Our customers have a lot of requirements around security, a lot of accreditations they need to do. So sometimes that does slow the pace of adoption, but I'm very encouraged by what we've been able to innovate around here at Oracle, that we can help, especially with our pivot to cloud, in expediting that modernization journey for these important customers, so we can keep that advantage going forward.
And what do you think the modernization presents as opportunities for women in particular?
I think for women in the technology space, there is so much opportunity right now, because we are seeing this rapid advancement of technology and new ideas. And so always being at the forefront and having that, innate sense of what's next and how do I learn about it, and then how do I apply it to my customer's mission, I think is something that is a very unique skill that will be very important going forward. And understanding the customers, listening to their challenges, and being able to apply the latest technology to those is something that will really help people advance their careers.
Okay. And what do you think the future holds in government defense and intelligence?
Well, the most exciting thing is this pivot that I mentioned of our classified clouds coming online. We have so much work in the government that will be just unleashed once it gets into the classified clouds as we go through our own accreditation journey. And what we'll be able to do in weeks will take seconds in the power of the processing that we're going to be bringing. And so I am really excited about this opportunity. And we have such a unique offering compared to our competitors around parity across all classifications, the way we manage data in our cloud, and the speed that we bring to mission. And so that is going to be so impactful. And I just think that we have so much opportunity going forward. It's a great time to be at Oracle in this market sector.
It sounds like very exciting times on the horizon. And what do you want your legacy to be at Oracle and in this field?
I think the most important thing is building a robust, sustainable business that can be left for the next generation of leaders. And so I always think about, what do I want the business to look like in 5 years and 10 years, and how am I building that workforce that will take that on and really drive it to the next level? We are in a startup mode in some ways around cloud for us in the government space. And so getting through that startup phase and then building to scale and then creating the leadership team that will be able to really robustly grow it for decades is what I'm very focused on right now.
Any final thoughts for our audience, particularly young women aspiring to be in similar shoes as yours one day?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is to believe in yourself. I know in my career, I sometimes would be my worst critic, and I would hold myself to a standard that was impossible to achieve. And as I learned over the years that I was holding myself back because I was striving for perfection, when actually just jumping in and getting it done was the best way to do it. And then I wouldn't have to be perfect, but it was pretty darn good. So I think having not yourself be what holds you back is one of the most important pieces of advice.
Well, Kim, thank you so much for joining us today. Your story is inspiring, and the work that you and your team are doing for Oracle and for our country is just amazing.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to be able to share some of our story and the great successes that we're having.